can address this, as President Mattelli said, we can always address it. And what we try to do with this, with our board governance handbook, is to have good streamlined meetings, and we don't want to, by any means, not hear comments from our constituents or the audience. If you look at it, you actually have, or the audience has 3 opportunities to speak, which is at the beginning, 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, and also at the time that the item is on the agenda, when it comes up on the agenda. So there is plenty of time to speak, and we're not gonna shut anybody down. Okay. Moving on to item G, resolution to authorize application for an energy efficient loan from the California Energy Commission to implement energy efficiency measures. Who has this one, Joe?
Yes. So back in August, the board approved a contract with Newcomb, Anderson, and McCormick, also known as NAM, to conduct separate solar feasibility studies at the Merced campus and here in Los Banos. The Merced study is still being conducted, but the Los Banos study was completed. And the assessment report did support a solar project here on campus. And so basically what we're recommending now is to move forward with zero interest loan with the California Energy Commission to conduct the projects here on campus. It's a loan up to $2 million. It would have no impact on the general fund. We would be paying the loan back with savings from the solar project. And it's projected to offset approximately 90% of the current electrical output here on campus and generate savings of over $1.5 million over a 25-year period. It's a non-binding loan. Right now, again, we're just asking for approval to move forward with the loan application. If the loan does not get approved, then we would not move forward with any of the projects, or we would have to secure other funding to move forward. So again, just recommending approval to move forward to submit the loan application.
All right.
I move that we authorize application for the energy efficiency.
A motion by Trustee Jordan, second by Trustee Ramirez. Any questions from the audience? Questions from the board?
I think I know the answer to this, but I want to clarify. The estimated savings, the annual savings would be about $60,000 a year over the lifetime savings. And I just want to be sure that it's not going to cost the district any excessive funds because of the cost savings with the new solar system if it does come to fruition.
No, we will not.
Any other questions? Okay, with that, let's vote. Trustee Gill? Trustee Ochoa? And while we're voting, Pam, is there any water back there? Could I give one? Anybody on here want water as well? I have a few of them, if you will, please. Okay, motion is approved. So we'll wait for some additional waters before we move on. All right, item H. Item H, the use of the tilde in the Los Baños campus official name. And we had Trustee Jordan asked to bring this back at our last board meeting. And so I'd like to entertain a motion to approve. Would it have to be a motion second and then a discussion? You have to have a motion, a second, and then we have discussion. Got a motion by Trustee Jordan to approve, and a second by Trustee Ramirez. Any to the use of the tilde on the Los Baños campus? Just to
I just think that line is more like a topic of international.
yeah.
And going back, I move that permission be given for those on family and tenants who use utilities funds at that point.
So the motion was to allow the Los Baños campus to use it till from this day forward. So we got a second by Trustee Lashbrook. Okay, any comments from the audience?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the board for bringing this back for discussion, and to remind the members of the board who were here previously and those potentially who did not hear this because you're newer to the board, that this is an item that was brought to the board by members of the community, and that the board also received a petition from students, staff, and faculty to have the board consider the use of the tilde. So I thank you for bringing it back.
Any other comments from the audience? Okay, now it's ours.
I voted in favor of it before, and I'm still in favor of it, but Trustee Villarreal called me today, and this is something he is very interested in, and he requested that could we table it until the full board was here. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, I personally feel that I don't agree with tabling it. I feel that we should move ahead. I'm the one that brought it back, since I was one of those who voted against it at the previous meeting. And I want all of you to know that this decision was my decision. No one talked to me about it. No one even suggested it. The more I thought about it, the more I felt it was a short-sighted vote on my part over a year ago. And so therefore I feel this, I am strongly convinced that this is what we need to do.
Thank you, Trustee Jordan. And any comments on this end?
So from the kind of simplicity of what we voted on, it's not requiring anybody to use the tilde, but it's no longer, actually, Trustee Jordan had voted for the prohibition of the use of the tilde in any form on the Los Baños campus, Las Baños, at that time. So this is, you know, this is, it was just a rough time. We were all going through stuff, but So anyway, so he voted for it, that's why he was able to bring it back. But anyway, I'm just glad we're doing this. It's not telling anybody what they have to do, but this is, we have like 80% Hispanic students in the population here. And I know Trustee Gutierrez has a lot of old newspapers and signage that showed it was traditionally used with the tilde here. So I'm happy that we're finally releasing folks to do what they're comfortable with. And that food forest sign would be lovely with the tilde on it.
I'd like to thank Dr. Latham for that little bit of background. I really appreciate that for us newbie trustees up here. And if you could, President Vitale, could you cite some examples on how the tilde was used, if you know of any? Or for that matter, anybody on the board?
It was used on our website, it was used on a document, some people had on their business cards, it was used in a variety of different ways, formally and informally.
So I would just like to say that this action doesn't harm students in any way. This has no harm to the board or Merced College at all. As mentioned earlier, students and staff and community members had petitioned for it, and if they believe so strongly in such an action and it does not harm anybody, then we should be taking that action.
So I always kind of struggle with this because since I speak Spanish fluently, I always want to call this campus the Los Baños campus, and it actually feels weird and uncomfortable to not be able to call it that. So I'm glad that this item is here, and I appreciate the freedom. And one of my questions today was going to be, whether or not there seems to be community support for the freedom to use it or not. And I understand from Dr. Latham and appreciate Trustee Gill's information that there seems to be support. Personally, I really like it, and I feel like Los Baños is a Spanish name, and to change it feels strange. I like that it's not a prohibition or a direction on any one way, so I am inclined to support this. I am sensitive to not being around to vote on something that's very important. I know that this seems to be a very important issue to board member Lionel Villarreal. I would normally be willing to defer or at least agree to table it, but given that we're at the Los Baños campus and it seems to be significant to the members here who came today, maybe for this issue, again, I feel bad that board member Villarreal, who intended to be here, isn't here. I'll just say that it's my inclination to if this comes to a vote, to support it today.
Any other comments?
It is also my intention to support it, but he asked me to bring that forth, and I did. And one thing that hasn't been brought up that I do remember vividly was the City Council of Los Baños voted against having it, and I think that was what turned the tide the last time it was voted.
And as I understand it as well, the motion is to, or the intent is to use it as the college sees fit. So, well, let's vote. All right. Trustee Gill, how do you vote? Trustee Ochoa?
Aye.
And the rest of us will vote. And it is unanimous. And I'd like to pass out to the board some pictures that I found, or actually some documents. This is the enterprise that was published in 1910, and it has the tilde. This is a check copy of a check that was paid April 30th, 1925, that says Bank of Los Baños with a tilde. This sign is in the front of, as you drive into town, and it's got Los Baños with a tilde, and it's a historical landmark number 550. So just wanted to pass out some of these. And okay, Brenda, it's as you see fit. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to item I, start time for November and December board meetings.
Just want if the staff members to realize that there's several conversations going on, and it is, I know one conversation by itself isn't loud, but hearing several conversations, if we could stop the chatter, that'd be helpful.
Okay, so the start time